So why did workers' compensation send you a check? You're an injured worker, you have no attorney, so you don't have anyone to call. You can call the insurance adjuster. Sadly, you may end up just leaving a voicemail, and you don't know why you got the check. So let's go through some of the common scenarios for why you would receive a check. In an ideal world, the check will come along with a letter that explains why you're getting that benefit. Sadly, in the real world, it just doesn't happen very often. So you end up getting a check and you just don't know why. So let's say you settled your case. You should be getting a settlement check, but you're probably going to expect that, so that wouldn't be confusing. If you submitted a mileage request, so you get paid medical mileage every time you go to the doctor, any appointments that you have for your industrial injury, your injury is accepted. Every time you go to the doctor, you're entitled to reimbursement. You need to submit a request for reimbursement to the adjuster. And what often happens is they may take up to 2 months to issue payment on that. So maybe you issued or sent in your request for mileage reimbursement. It was a month and a half ago, and you forgot about it, but now that's why you're getting a check. That could be. Another reason would be if you have a qualified medical exam coming up. The labor code requires that if you are going to attend an examination at the request of the employer or the insurance company, that they have to advance mileage to you. So that's a qualified medical exam. You're going there, even if you're the one that requested the qualified medical exam, it's still considered under the labor code a request at the request of the employer. So they have to send a mileage check to you before the examination. So that may be why you got a check for an unusual amount. The other two reasons why you start getting checks, and they're regular checks, they repeat every 2 weeks. It's either going to be temporary disability or permanent disability advances. So temporary disability, if your doctor has you off work and you're not able to work, or if you're on light duty, modified duty, and your employer cannot accommodate those restrictions, your insurance company will start temporary disability. That's to pay you essentially wage loss, but your lost earning while you're unable to work due to your industrial injury. That temporary disability will start. It will generally go up to about 2 years. The checks go out every 2 weeks, and it continues as long as you're unable to work. So the insurance company should send along a benefit notice, a temporary disability starting notice when that begins, to let you know what the benefit is. It's just that sometimes the check doesn't always go out at the same time as the letter. The other thing that they could be sending you money for would be permanent disability advances. So let's say your condition is permanent and stationary, and there's a good faith, reasonable estimate that there's going to be permanent disability in your case. There will be whole person impairment. So if you're either at a permanent and stationary status, or let's say your temporary disability stopped because you've gone back to work, but you're not working as much or making as much as you were before, they may start permanent disability advances at that time. So those checks will generally be smaller. They're generally up to about $290 per week. They'll send out that check every 2 weeks, so maybe as much as $580 every 2 weeks. And those continue until about 85 to 100%, depending on if you have an attorney or not, of the permanent disability has been advanced. So they'll send those checks up until that point, and then they stop. Again, there should have been a permanent disability advance notice that went out with that check. It doesn't always happen. So those are the main reasons why you would get a check from the insurance company without necessarily expecting it. Either medical mileage that you requested a while back. It could be a mileage advance for an upcoming QME, or it could be temporary disability or permanent disability advances. And those are the most common reasons why you start getting checks from the insurance company.